Hello, welcome to Mr. B's Garage. Well, it's springtime. Got the Jeep in summer mode. As you can see, thought I'd do a quick review of the Bestop Safari top that I've been running for a long time. This is actually the second one. First one I ran about 5 or 6 years, and one of the plastic buckles broke, and I just tied it, ran it a few more years, and my wife, actually I ran it a total of 5 years. My wife bought me this replacement a couple years back. It's going on its 4th year now, I guess. Anyway, just give you a quick overview in case you're thinking about running a Bestop Safari top. Just take a peek, look around it. I've got some video of me running home from work in the rain, and we'll look at that too. And let's just give you an idea of what you think. Just to give you a little history. Bought the Jeep 12 years ago. It's a hardtop Jeep. I didn't have door surrounds or anything. My wife and kids went together and decided to buy me the Safari top. I ran it once and said that's it. Top's never going back on during the summer. So as it stands now, this is how it runs from April 1st typically to November 1st. It's pretty well daily driven. It's driven in the rain. I've got a Bestop trail cover that I put on it when I park it at work, and I'll do a review. I'll give you some idea on that. Granted, gets parked in the garage most of the time at night, so night's not a problem. I'll give you the quick overview and how I got to where I got to with it. Alright, so here we go. This is the Bestop Safari top I run. You can see there's a little Bestop tag. It's made in China, imagine that. As I say, this is my second Safari top. Forms well. When I got the first one, the first time I put it on, of course you got to have a windshield strip. It clips here. It's got a little bolt that pulls the clamp that uses the stock top clamps. And it basically straps to everything. See, it's got the strap that goes into this footman loop up here, and it comes around here, straps here, and then these straps go here. Now, point of reference, yes, this is an 05 Unlimited TJ, LJ, whatever I've heard it called everything. I call it an LJ. It's an extended TJ. So this top's a little different. It's a little longer, but it basically functionally is the same. You can run it without door surrounds. If you look over there, there's a little flap kind of shows up. That flap will actually go around the roll bar. The first year I ran it that way. And then, which means you only have to have the windshield channel and the top. If you run it that way, the problem you have is right here where the door surround pulls this out. You've got a gap from here to there. So if it rains, if you're running excuse me, let me back up. If you're running hard doors, which I do most of the time, but if it rains, if you got your doors on because it's going to rain, because you don't want the water spray. But the water will come in right here between where the roll bar and the top tie together and the top. This is a Jeep, so it's all for fun and adventure. Daily drive or not, I drive it for fun. Every day it's supposed to be fun. So, the first time I drove it, I didn't have this bow in here on the top. The water puddled up on the top, and I turned the corner and the water came down around between the door frame, since I didn't have any door surrounds, and the top, and splash right in my lap. Of course, I got wet, but this is all for fun, so I laughed it off. And then my wife and I were out riding around in some forest roads, got caught in a rainstorm, and she got it too. But you know, we were out fooling around, having fun in the rain, no big deal. But it's not always so convenient. So the next year, I got door surrounds. With the door surrounds, as you'll see in the video I'll add to this video, the door surrounds pretty well solve it. I don't get any rain in here. The only rain I get is if it's raining really hard, right here where this little Velcro strap comes around to kind of pull this tight. If that strap comes in there, the rain will come in here and get around where this gasket kind of gets pushed out of the way, and it'll drip. Not really a big deal because I've got these floor mats, WeatherTech floor mats, so the water gets caught in there, and it's not enough for me to care. It drips a little there. I just, you know, it's a Jeep, and I like the outdoors, so a little water never bothered me. If you've got a fancy Jeep and you want fancy stuff, and well, it might bother you. Not me. It's all about the fun. So anyway, you can see it's not a big deal to put on. This clips around to the door surround. That can be a little bit hard, especially if it's cold out. When I started running this bow last year, that kind of helped keep the water from puddling up here if it sits in a parking lot. You can see, yes, the water does collect. Water will collect and will drip here. Several years back, kind of each year I made an iteration to deal with the weather, to run in this mode in the summer. A couple years after I started running this mode, and after I got the door surrounds, the next year my iteration was this. It's kind of a home built, looks a little rough, needs paint, it's got some wear. I need to make version 2, but this is just made out of a Vantec. It just keeps the worst of the water out of the back. Yes, water will get in here. No, water won't get in here. It's kind of double layered with some weather stripping. It's very hard for water to get in there. But back to the Safari top, the water will come in here. If you've got back seats, the back seat up, which I can do. When I run my back seat for my kids and my grandkids, the water won't get to them, but it will get in the back if you don't have anything back here. It will run down through here. If you're driving in a driving rain, the water pretty well runs off. The back will get wet because there's nothing protecting it. But as long as you're moving in rain, and it's even a pouring rain, it's not too bad. A few years back, my two youngest boys and I went out camping. We came back, got stuck through Chattanooga in a torrential downpour. The water, my youngest son was in the back seat with a blue tarp over him. This wasn't here. We had this piece on, but he had a blue tarp over him because the water was running in. It was spraying so bad it was coming in behind the seat and getting the back of the windshield and me and my middle son. We just had a blast, laughed it off. We pulled into a gas station, drenched, soaked and wet, and waited for the rain to subside. You know, it was hot out, so it wasn't a big deal. It was fun though. Another adventure, which is what the Jeep's all about. Anyway, back to the top. You know, going down the road, I usually tuck these in, but they usually come back out. You can see that one needs to be tightened up. As the summer goes on, this stretches a little bit. I tighten up a little at a time. These will get wet and flap around a little bit. You can see up a Velcro on these back seat belts, and you can see that they've had a lot of, I don't know, probably 10 or 11 years of summers being wet and flapping around on the interstate. If I twist it around, with it flat, it's worse. If I twist them, they don't make as much noise. I Velcro at the bottom. You can see this one's actually still tucked in from the last time I was out and about. And of course, that seat belt's tucked in. You can see that one's got a lot of fraying on it. I really need to replace those. You know, there's my, get my super siphon off there now. Had to put gas in something. But never had any problem with it coming off. If I don't run the bow, this particular one was a little bit bigger. If I don't run the bow, I had this come loose a little bit, but once I started running the bow, took care of that. A little story about this top. The original top that my wife and my kids bought me fit a little tighter than this top. Ran it for whatever, 5 or 6 years. The passenger side buckle, this buckle right here, actually eventually the weather got to it and it dried up and it broke. The straps get really, I think this material is awesome. This stuff gets sun rotted. This got sun rotted, and when the buckle broke, I just pulled it tight and tied it. Ran it like that for, I don't know, 2 years. My wife bought me this one. So when my wife bought me this one, it wasn't actually this exact one. She bought me one, I put it on there. I couldn't get the front to stay tight. It wasn't tight, it was loose. I contacted Bestop, and quite frankly, this is why I will only ever run a Bestop from this point on. Contacted Bestop, told them that the top didn't fit right, told them the story, told them it was my second one. First one fit perfect. I asked them if there was something I was doing wrong. And they contacted me and they tried to help me. I explained what I was doing, and they sent me another one. I put that one on, and that one fit even worse. Contacted them, and they sent me another one. I put that one on, and it fit a little better, and I got it to work. But I thought, you know, any company that would go through that much trouble over a $150, $160 top on a vehicle that's, you know, now well outside of its marketable value for a company of that nature, stands behind their products. There's other ones out there, but they were outstanding. They were really good to deal with. They contacted me. They did everything they could to make me happy, and then they made sure that I was happy with their product after I got to the point where it was working. That's thumbs up for Bestop. It's, you know, from this point on, that's the product I'll buy. They've been around forever. Back when I got into four-wheel drives, four-wheeling and all that stuff in the mid-'80s, they were the brand. They were the ones that made tops. They were the ones that made all the oddball tops. So, yeah, that's what I run. So anyway, that's just a quick, my opinion of the Bestop top, Safari top. And again, this is what I do, how I run this thing. It'll be like this till November if I can push it. It'll be like this till the second week of November if I can push it. Typically, my wife is the deciding factor of when it's just too much. She says it's too cold to run the Jeep, and I have to put the hard top back on. As far as that goes, in cold temperatures, running the hard top, the hard top doors, I can roll the windows up, and I'll get some air here, but I can get enough heat out of it that it stays warm. Now with 185 degree thermostat, it's not quite as warm as it was with the stock 195, but it's plenty warm. I've driven like this in, you know, not crazy weather, but in 30 degree weather with a winter coat on, I was comfortable. And again, it's all about the adventure. If I wanted something, you know, comfortable to ride in, and I wanted to live in a climate-controlled world, and I would take the Dodge Charger with the heated seats. But it's more about the adventure. So there you go. That's the Mr. B's opinion of the Bestop Safari top on my Jeep TJ. Alright, it's raining pretty good right now. I don't know if you can hear it in this mic or not. Hear that car behind me though. Yeah, it's raining quite good right now. Flip you around, you can see. There you go, that's some rain. over to me. Now, with that being said, that's some good rain. You can see the water running off the Safari top. Pretty windy, dude. And I'm dry. I mean, I've got water coming in a little bit around the windows. Not much. This is pretty hard rain now. I mean, I'm getting misty over here. You can see it's raining good right there. That's why I put that hard, made that hard top. Comes off the Safari top, will go right back on to the back seat without that. If I had the back seat up, it would just miss the back seat. With the back seat down, it would get the whole back wet. With that on there, back stays dry. My alarm rest is getting a little bit wet. Like I say, it's windy, it's a pretty good storm. I mean, not storming good, but it's pretty good rain, so it's coming in more than usual. The point being, this is how I run all summer. I've driven through some pretty good storms. I have gotten wet untarping the Jeep a couple times and tarping the Jeep a couple times. God has been extremely good to me in the 10 or 11 years I've been riding like this in the summer. The storm can typically stop when I need to get in my Jeep. So God just blesses me that way. I'm thankful for it. I enjoy being part of the storm. That's kind of why I do this. To keep the hard top on, I'd go to a soft top. I really didn't want to spend the money on a soft top way back when I considered it. Now, I just enjoy being part of the storm. Yeah, I don't like being wet and cold. Put a coat on if it's cold out. I can honestly say, doing this 10 years, I don't recall any one experience where I was miserable riding like this. But I'm different. I'm a little bit more unique, I guess, than some people. But I enjoy it. I can feel the storm, hear it. It's noisy. You can hear I don't know if it's the seat belts or the top flap more when they're wet. Like I say, underneath that's going to get a little bit wet. The water get around the roll cage and the platform meet. Alright, we're home. I will say that knowing I'm coming home to a garage makes it a little easier driving in the rain. Anyway, I figured I'd give you an idea just how wet it gets. See, all that's wet. This is damp, not wet. It's not even wet. That's definitely wet. Down here, there'll be a little bit of water get there, but you can see that's not even really wet. As long as I'm moving, this all just kind of runs off. Water runs down here. I've kind of double layered this, so it can't go through there. But you can see it runs down there. Of course, this gets wet, so tomorrow when I go to tarp it, if I have to tarp it, I have to be careful. Basically, considering that's how I run it, works pretty good. So that just gives you an idea. I'll show you the inside. The toolbox was even open. The water in it. Of course, you can see some comes in through here. I used to have a gasket here and it's kind of fell apart. Some comes in through there. There's a little bit of water there. There'll be maybe a little up there. This up in here isn't even damp. Yeah, it's a little damp. It's damp. A really good rain will soak that. If I park it and forget to tarp it, it will soak this. It'll all end up down here. But no big deal. So, there you have it. Handling the rain in summer mode. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, comment, let me know what you think, what you run for summer mode, and keep up with us. I'm gonna keep adding little tidbits of our TJ or our Jeep life.